If you're a professional in-home care provider and you walk across the threshold of someone's home, how do you feel? We're going to talk about that in today's episode. So what does the psychological impact mean when you're recovering from a procedure in your home? First of all, you're in your own home, which is fine, but now you need someone who's not a family member, in some cases, to come into your home to provide care for you. Now, this is going to be somewhat of a stress, even though the person is there to provide care for you. It's going to be a stress on their part and also a stress on your part because you're both on territory that's not totally your own, so to speak. As a caregiver, when you go into a person's home, you have a psychological dimension that has to take in consideration the condition of the person that you're caring for and your ability to give adequate care to a person who is ailing, a person who's in distress, a person who is sick, a person who is trying to recover, and there's a certain amount of stress that is associated with that, which oftentimes makes it difficult for you to disconnect from your work. In order for a caregiver to give adequate care, they have to at some point be able to disconnect from their work psychologically. If the home that you're working in is experiencing all types of stress and you are actually experiencing or classifying these as stress events, there's a psychological impact that will impede your ability to work at your optimum level of energy. So I talk about the importance of your sleep environment as a caregiver, living in a person's home who you do not have the authority to move about as though it were your own home. You're going to have to get some help to address the issue. These issues are not brought to the forefront in a way that gets addressed. Sometimes they're swept under the rug, such as maybe it's a home and there's a water damage. They've got a leaky basement or a leaky faucet in the basement, and now they have a situation where there's mold, and this now becomes a stress event for you, and it's a psychological problem for you because you know that there's a potential that you could become ill in that environment. So there may be odors, there may be remnants of spillage. This is not what you're paid to do, this is not what you're hired to do, but if you're in that environment, you are now subject to the odors that accumulated in that chair. And from a psychological perspective, this is something that will take your focus away from caring for your client to self-care. Sometimes we have situations where there's hoarding activities taking place. This will have a psychological impact not only on your ability to focus on the client, but also it's an irritant that will not go away. The other thing in terms of psychology, which is actually to the benefit of the patient, patients actually tend to recover better when they're in their own home. So they want to age in place, they want to recover in their own home. When they're in their own home, they also have a certain sense of control and a certain sense of involvement in the process. To the degree that the patient feels that they have a certain level of control and input, this will relieve a certain amount of anxiety and stress that may be on the caregiver, because the person who's the patient will actually take a certain degree of the stress and responsibilities off of you because they feel a sense of self when they're in their home environment. And so for the caregiver, you have to, as much as possible, be able to psychologically detach the fact that you are in someone else's home under their control. So psychologically, though they may be there providing care for you, they're concerned about their health, and that is an irritant, and it's going to diminish the level of care and focus that they're actually going to be giving. So here's what you got to do. When you go into that home environment, you have to first of all take an assessment of how do you feel in that space. Okay, we know you don't own the space. It's the home of a person who's ill. The person needs your help. But when you walk through the threshold of that door, how is your energy flowing? Do you feel that you are energized and that you can go straight to provide care? Or does your attention directly go over to, oh, look at the cobwebs in the corner. Oh, look at the dust under the couch. Oh, look at the dust on the furniture. Oh, there's odors here. What you need to do is make a real assessment of what is it that you're detecting in that space. And if it's something that needs to be addressed that's above and beyond your capacity, you need to make the call. I'm the incredible Gregory Hunter, and here's to keeping you incredibly healthy.